This is absolutely untrue, and nobody with relevant military experience would say that our personal weapons don't have a chance against the military. That's not true. I've made videos on this before, but let me explain it again. We have in America what I like to call weaponized herd immunity, right? There are 500 million weapons in this country that we know about. Okay, so one prepper family, you're right. Even one town, you can't prep enough to stand up against one chick in the US Air Force, okay? But all of us, we would win. If you put the United States military on one side of a football field, even with nukes, and 340 million Americans on the other side, not even armed, we would win. We would get them first. The logistics of our country is too big to control. If you were running national military operations in America, because if you've noticed, we don't wear Democrat and Republican uniforms, you would have to assume that every house is armed and every American is hostile. You would need 100 million soldiers to invade America, and Americans on their home ground would still likely win. We have 2 million service members and civilians working for DoD total. Nobody has a military big enough to go against American citizens. Nobody thinks that the military would win. Nobody that understands the military. It's not true. Our personal weapons do not help us individually, but one pew-pew behind every blade of grass, as was said by a Japanese general fighting us, that we win. No modern country has ever won a counterinsurgency. The people win. Drugs won the war on drugs. I'm Daniella, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership, former Captain Mestyanek, intelligence officer, which was part of operations planning, 2 deployments to Afghanistan, where we couldn't even win against 85 million people, assuming that every house had 1 AK. I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies attached here. Mr. Knitting Cult Lady tells me there's actually only 30 to 50 million people in Afghanistan, which makes my point stronger. We couldn't even win there.